morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a great day, like I am. Welcome to Bambino Tech live stream every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings, or whichever mode we're in, 10 a.m. And we bring you the best of flight simulation in VR in either FS 2020 like we're doing today, or an X-Plane 11. But today we're in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Going to be flying the tried and true TBM 930, one of my favorite planes. And we're going to be flying an FSEconomy, which is basically like a career mode for the more popular flight simulators like X-Plane and FS 2020. So, and also FSX. So, anyway, guys, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a great day today. I got my second COVID shot yesterday at around 11 a.m. So I'm coming up to 24 hours, and I'm feeling okay. So the first one I got kind of knocked down for a couple of days. Not bad, but just feeling funky, a little, under the weather. But so far today, I feel pretty good. So I'm hoping that holds out. Everyone I've talked to that in my immediate circle hasn't had any issues with it, with the second dose. So I'm hoping that's going to be okay. But in any event, today we got a pretty long flight scheduled. I've got this TBM 930 that belongs to the VR Aviation group that was flown to South America by one of our former members. It was way down here in lower South America. I've managed to fly it back up various stops and now have it in Florida at Okeechobee. I'm trying to get it back to Roanoke where it belongs. And so today I'm going to take it up north further from Okeechobee to, it's like a 330-mile trip to Georgia. Well, let's talk about it. Let's take a look at it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. So here's the flight plan. So we're going to be going from Okeechobee to W.H. Bud Barron Airport in Georgia. So you can see straight up the middle of the state of Florida into Georgia. We got a little weather coming in, but we're not going to be flying in real weather today. We're going to be flying fake weather. In any event, so here's the airport we're going to be coming into, making this right-hand turn into Barron. So let's just take a look at the, if we can see an airport diagram. Oh, don't really have one, unfortunately. So that's all right. So we'll figure it out. But we're going to be coming into this runway here. Ooh, does it have the runway number? Nope. So anyway, so this is where we're going to be coming into. So 338 miles. Should be a good trip. We're going to be flying at 20,000 feet. So let's go 20,000 feet. And so going to take us about an hour and a half at 240, which is about the speed. Actually, we'll probably be going a little faster than that at 20,000. So we'll probably be going at 270, I'd say. So maybe an hour and 19 minutes. All right, so pretty quick flight. Reasonably quick, I should say. And we've got 7 souls aboard. FSEconomy. 115 gallons, which should be fine for us. So let's just say if we've got 115 gallons, let's see, enter fuel 115. All right, this is what I want to see. Distance 300 and let's say 400 miles and 75 gallons. So we should be fine on fuel. Can't buy fuel here, unfortunately, because Okeechobee is out of fuel, which sometimes happens in FSEconomy. So anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing. And what's cool about it is once we get to W.H. Bud Barron, Dublin, okay, looks like we've got a flight that'll take us up to BWI, which is pretty close to home. 5 passengers for $8,000, so I'll probably do that one later today off stream to get this thing closer to Roanoke, where she belongs. Take a look at the aircraft for VR Aviation. So this is the one we're flying today right here. Yeah, so this guy belongs in Roanoke. All right. All right, so that's the plan for today. So let's hop in and figure it out. Say hello in the chat, guys, if you'd like. So we're going to be going, let's see, we're going to be going Okeechobee. So let's go into our plan here. KOBE, Okeechobee. And we're going to go to KDBN. Barron, Dublin. So let's check out our departures. We're just going to leave right from the runway. Have it run in there. I think I want to take off from that point. And we want to go to... let's land on this runway here. And then we want our waypoint, which is RELCY. If you guys want to fly along with me, I'm going to be on the East USA server. So that's the one we want to add, and that'll bring us right into Barron. All right, so I'm going to be flying at, let's put this at, let's put it at 12 noon. What the hell? Actually, no. Let's do 8:29 a.m. So this way it'll be a little bit darker. Yeah, so let's do the fly. Let's get this thing rolling here. And I'm going to be flying in VR with the HP Reverb G2. So what you see on the screen is going to be a 2D representation of what I'm seeing in 3D, which is, you can't really, as I mentioned before, you can't really demonstrate on YouTube because obviously you can't see it in 3D. I've actually tried to do this before with to broadcast a 3D, like a split screen image, two-eyed image, and people used a VR viewer to watch it. It worked in some sense, but not really great. So you're going to see a 2D representation, basically a visualization of one eye. Ready to fly here. Okay, so what I'm going to switch now to is, when I switch to VR here, okay, I'm now in VR mode, okay, and I'm going to switch the eye on. You're seeing my left eye in VR, and you can see it looks kind of like grainy. This is not how I see it, right? I see it like really, really clear with the G2, so it doesn't really give you a great representation. But anyway, so all right, so we got our flight plan in. Let's make sure that, let me just make sure I've got FSEconomy started, which I do. Okay. We're flying for the VR Aviation group, which is good. All right, so let's get in the plane here. All right, I'm in the cockpit, so I can't see chat, unfortunately, when I'm in the cockpit, because there's no way to bring the chat window into the cockpit with a G2 and FS 2020. So we're going to, let's get our lights on so we can see a little bit better. I want to make sure automatic fuel is on, so it switches the tanks automatically. We're good there. All right, we're going to fly at 20,000 feet. So I'll roll this up to 20,000. Come on, come on, come on. You can see our flight plan is already entered in on the MFD there. Takes a while. This thing doesn't have an increment of thousands for some reason. You have to increment it by hundreds. Maybe there's a command you can use, but for some reason this plane, there you go, 20,000. So we're going to go flight director on, nav on. That's all good. We're going to go FLC. And we're going to climb at 175. All right. And let's see, our flight plan is loaded. Hopefully we got enough fuel. We should have enough fuel. But we're going to be flying high, so we'll be able to save some fuel. So we want our yaw damper on. And we're all good to go. Let's see, flaps are set to take off. And we're good. I'm just working on getting my headset settled there. Alright, so here we go. Parking brake off. And let's see. Flight plan set. It's showing 331 miles to our first waypoint, which makes sense, so here we go. Let's gear up here. Get off the takeoff power. Release those brakes. Just watch that engine. We don't want to over-rev that engine. $70 knots. There's 85, 90. We should be get it to 100 and we'll rotate. Nice, easy. Pull that trim up, wheels up. Climbing nicely. Get those flaps off. Let's turn into our direction here. You can see I have tags on, so we're going to be able to see bunch of people flying on the East Server today down in Florida. Alright, let's get that autopilot on and we'll climb up to
Miami Center Dayer
2000.
November Yankee is type Dayer TBM 92 miles north.
This thing always does this thing where when you turn it on, it syncs and then it, I don't know why it does that. And then now it's going to go up to 85, or sorry, 75. And we'll start our quick climb up to 20,000.
Copy Dayer 8 November Yankee.
Dayer 8 November Yankee, contact Miami Center on 127.2.
I will start to make our turn into the waypoint. Climbing at 2,000 feet per minute.
November 328 November Yankee 1,900 feet.
Delaware November 328 November Yankee, Miami Center, continue as planned. Altimeter 29.92.
Now, if you guys aren't aware of my configuration, I'm using a 1080 Ti graphics card, so you're going to see a little bit of stuttering in VR with the G2 and Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've got it dialed into about medium settings, some ultra, depending on what the effects is on the GPU. There's a really good thread on the Flight Simulator forum called Big Bang for Buck for VR. You can look that up, and it really helps you configure Microsoft Flight Simulator for VR, and you can tweak it based upon your configuration. Every configuration is going to be different depending on which headset you're using and which GPU you're using. So anyway, climbing through 4,500. And obviously, as you get up in altitude, the smoothness improves because it's less graphics to draw, right? Less detailed graphics to draw, right? You know, basically the simulator's drawing a, let's see, what, 6,000 foot view of the ground, so there's no houses and stuff to draw. So it's just, just less processing on the GPU. Oh, we're kind of over. We don't want to over torque that engine. Conrad, how you doing? Uh-oh. Your daughter bought Overwatch. You may never get to use your PC again. Yeah. Yeah, my son uses my PC to play Modern Warfare. But we've kind of gotten to a good cadence as to when he uses it versus when I use it. So, yeah. I know the feeling, dude. All right, coming through 8,000 feet. Got some traffic way up there. Yeah, so as I mentioned, this plane was actually flown 2,800 miles away from its home in Roanoke, Virginia. It's part of our VR Aviation group in FSE. And I asked the guy, a couple of times to return it. He never did, so I started returning it. And then finally he replied and said he hadn't gotten my messages. And, flying around the area where the plane is boring to him. I said, part of the rules of the group is that you need to keep the plane around that area. Doesn't mean you have to stay in the network, but you need to be within a reasonable amount, 300-400 miles, reasonable amount, not 3,000 miles, right? So it's been time-consuming to get this plane back to where it is. So we're almost there. I like to fly this plane around Roanoke, so that's why one of the motivations to get this back to Roanoke. One of my favorite planes to fly in FSEconomy. Kind of a hazy day, as it usually is in FSEconomy. Even if we put our head out the window, it's still a little bit hazy. Coming through 11,000. And we'll try to conserve some fuel. I think we should be fine. We did the calculations. We should be fine. Yes, he did make money for the VA. He did. Yes, he did. He wasn't flying without doing that. And that was fine. It's just, it's part of the, everyone in the group wants to use the plane, right? So then the idea is to keep it around the home base, or, like I said, reasonable amount. We've got a couple of jets, or one jet in the group, and a jet in the PC-12, and I know that there's SAR, and there's a couple other guys that have flown planes well out of the region. That's fine. They bring them back. They bring them back within the region, which is fine, because other people want to use them, right? And some people like to fly within the region, within our FBO region. But, I don't have a problem. There's no problem as long as the intent is to bring them back, especially for maintenance and, because maintenance we want to do at our own FBOs because we make money on that for the group. As little as it is, every bit helps, So, yeah, it's not like, I'm not trying to be like a prick about it, but, because it's supposed to be for fun, but, 2,800 miles is a little too far. Especially when the person ignored, or maybe he said he didn't see his messages, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. But he didn't, after a week or so, he didn't make any attempt to bring it back, so I felt I had to step in. Anyway, water over the dam, as they say. Coming to 15,000. Plane will start to sip fuel for mileage, so which is good. I tell you, getting that second COVID shot, even the first COVID shot, was a surreal experience. I don't know about you guys, and where if you've gotten the shot or one or two, whatever. Where I went was like this big convention center, right? And for both shots, and a couple thousand people there. Seemed like cattle lines of people. Every one of them wear a mask. And you've got about 20 minutes to stand in line and looking at all this. And I'm contemplating this. I'm saying to myself, how bizarre is this? 1,000 people here easily, all wearing masks. It's like a movie. It's like, I think I said this before after I got the first shot, but maybe it bears repeating. It's like a movie, It's really strange. So hopefully, in 2 weeks, once this second shot kicks in, I'll have, I guess, immunity to the main strain of COVID. Now, I know there's other strains. I don't know about that. I'm hearing that there may be a booster that you have to get in 6 months. I don't know. So, crazy shit. But could be worse, is the way I look at it. Could be worse. All right, coming through 18,000. System's all looking good. We're doing 175, but ground speed is 235. So, and we'll kick that up because we're going to bring this up to around 230. Once we hit altitude here. Gotta back off on the throttle a little bit. Alright, coming up to 20,000. And one difference between FS 2020 and X-Plane is when you're climbing, when you're 1,000 feet away from your target altitude, you get like a beep to give you a heads up that you're, approaching your cruising altitude. It would be really good if they added that here, All right, way above the state of Florida here. Flying at altitude. That's coming up to 20,000. Gonna start to see speed increase here.
8 November Yankee contact Miami Center on 124.1.
257, 258, 259, 260.
Miami Center, Dayer November 328 November Yankee flight level 200.
Dayer November 328 November Yankee Miami Center, continue as planned.
All right, we are at altitude and gaining speed. We'll be flying directly over Orlando Airport, MCO, looks like. Oh, you don't have to worry about that in FS Economy, Conrad. Your pilot is never. Your pilot is like a doesn't get stranded in the airport. It doesn't work that way. In FS Economy, your pilot just moves freely wherever the plane is. So that's not a limitation in FS Economy, which is one of the reasons why I kind of like it a little bit more than on air. You're not restricted. You don't have to worry about the travel time and all that. I just never really liked that idea in on air, Yeah, you could certainly take jobs outside the FBO network. Sure, as long as looking for profitable jobs is fine, and like reasonable. If you've got a jet, it's going to be easier to get it back into the network. Like I said, we like to keep it at the FBOs. But On Air is not as developed as the group that we have here in FSEconomy. But so yeah, it's fine. A lot of people in the skies today. All right, let's see if we get up to speed here. All right, so we're flying at 214 and ground speed is 290. So, and we're burning 51 gallons per hour. And we've got 100 gallons, so we should be fine. We got an hour to go. We should be absolutely fine. Man, there is a lot of water in the state of Florida. I mean, what's nice about this plane for a turboprop, it moves just, maybe a little less. I could actually speed this up a little bit. Because let's go to, we're at 54 gallons per hour. Bring it up a little bit more to 55 gallons per hour. I mean, we're going to be fine. And we could bring it up to 220 maybe. Let's see, 220 airspeed. And 300 ground speed. So we got 296 now, so let's see if we can just tweak that up to 300. Alright, we're going to be coming right over MCO, right up there, right in our path. Right now we got 300 knots ground speed. Making great time, 53 minutes. Alright, cool. So one of the things I want to let you guys know about was next week, next Saturday, we're going to have a group flight in Japan. We're going to be going from Osaka to Kitayushu. Kitayushu is the, I think I pronounced it, I'm probably crushing that, or probably destroying that pronunciation, but it's basically the island airport in Japan, which I thought would be really cool to land at. So yeah, about 238 miles. I'm going to be in the SR-22 at about 140 pace. So it should be a fun flight in Japan and FS 2020. I've got this. If you want to check out the link, I'll put it in the chat here. Give me 1 second here. Let me just see if I go to this, what happens. Oh, here's the link. Alright, so here's the link to the group flight if you want to check it out. And just hit it as a reminder or whatever. But yeah, that should be a lot of fun. Last group flight we had about 25 people, which was awesome. We did an Alaska flight. This time we're going to be over in Japan, and should be a lot of fun. So join up if you're not doing anything next Saturday morning, 10 a.m.
Day 8, November Yankee, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.0.
Go Going to 1 tree 4.0 day or 8 November Yankee. Jacksonville Center day or November tree 28 November Yankee flight level 200.
Day or November 328 November Yankee Jacksonville Center, continue as planned.
So what I thought we'd do is a status of the group. So let's go to our FSEconomy banking page here. So VR Aviation is the group we'll talk about. This Aero VR is my own group that I use for aircraft ownership. So just ignore that. So VR Aviation and VRA East. All of the FBOs are under VRA East. I'll show you that in a second. So VR Aviation, we've got about 3.7 million, 3.8 million cash, saving up for another 3-lot FBO in the network, hopefully soon. Let's just take a look at the monthly statement. So far for April, we're 10 days in. Let's look at that. All right, so here we're going to see we've made about $78,000 in off of pilot flights. Okay, rental income, we're in the negative, but that, you know, I'm not sure we'll end up in there. But if we look at last month, we netted $380,000 in assignment fees, and we lost money on the rentals because we're paying for all the rentals. But in net after expenses and stuff, $285K, so it's decent. Not like we were doing when FS 2020 first came out. But let's take a look at VRA East. This will show us the operations of the FBO. So far we've made $14K from FBO operations, and if we go back to last month, we made $63K. Not a huge amount, but enough to cover. Well, actually, not even enough to cover, actually, because it costs us about $160,000, $170,000 in supplies for all the FBOs. So we have to get we need to get our revenue up. Luckily, we got a lot in the bank to cover us, but we need to get our revenue up. Hey, Skidmark, how you doing? Yeah, that's okay. You didn't get. That's all right. We can actually take a look at the flights. Let's take a look at that. So we go to VR Aviation here. We got this website up. You go to reports, and reports will show you flight activities currently for April. It takes a little bit of time to pull that up. Let's take a look. So you can see who's flying, what, and what margin. So basically, this is a percentage, right? So for me, it's 24% margin, which is good. If you want to. If you're in the 20s, that's awesome. It shows you the number of flights, how many miles. You can see, so Sushi Kolo is doing some great flying. He flies the longitude out quite a bit. But yeah, so this is, let's take a look at last month. What the hell is it? Last month. And you can see Skidmark, you did some nice flying last month, but this is basically our flights for last month. It shows you. Same thing, profit margin. You can see Sar Sunjar, who flies the PC-12 quite a bit. I think the TBM as well. Did a lot of flying for us. Almost 20,000 miles. That's unbelievable. 37 flights. It's fantastic. So, in any event, so that's how we. If you ever want to check that out, just go to. Well, I'll put the website in the chat if you want to check that out. You got caught up in MSFS. Oh, you had issues with Flight Simulator. What kind of issues did you have? Skidmark. So, Comrade says after that Alaskan flight, I was watching VR 365, was complaining about VR not being graphically immersed enough. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, whatever. You know, everyone has an opinion, and you know what they say about opinions. But in any event. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you can check out the website for VR Aviation. This is for our FSEconomy group, by the way. Yeah, so that's that. So back to FSEconomy. So let's take a look at the FBOs. So if we go under FBO management under East, and these are all our FBOs, right? So you can see here, I have to, watch this. We have 64 days of supplies at each one. And the way it works is it's supplies per day. So like, let's say, for example, a 3-lot FBO, which is the largest, like Wildwood, burns 90 kilograms of supplies per day. A 2-lot burns 40, and a 1-lot burns 10. So you basically have to keep filling up these FBOs with supplies so that they can maintain operation. So and you also need to keep filling up with gas. Now you make a little bit of money on gas, but supplies are just a complete burn, right? So we've got 2 months of supplies already, basically in the tank for each of these. But what I like to do is when it gets below 60, I like to go and buy another 60 days worth, so I don't have to worry about it all the time, right? And if you take a look, let me see if I can pull this up here. I got a calculator. Let's see if I got it here. Oh, here we go. So I have this calculator that I use so I can figure out what it's going to cost. So 60 days worth of supplies for all of our FBOs is $328,000. This is why we got to keep flying. We just go for 30 days, 1 month, right? 164. So we need to cover expenses, supply expenses. We need to make as a group 164K, right? It's a lot because we're only taking, what are we taking? 30%? I can't remember. 30% or 40%? What the hell are we taking? Let's go to group, my groups. Yeah, we're taking 35%, right? So I may have to back this back down to 60%, guys, because we're not making enough money for the group because we're not getting enough flights. We'll see. I might have to back that down to 60. An extra 5. In fact, I think I'm going to just do that right now because, oops. Because we need the coin. Yeah, I'm going to update that right now. Which means I got to update the website. Oh well. Yeah, so that's the economics of running a group. Yeah, but I wanted to try to keep it, skid mark. I wanted to try to make it attractive. So, yeah, but I'll back it off to 5%. Back it off to 5%. Now the good news is this 81,000. This is money that's earned from ground crew fees and stuff by people landing at our airports. So that goes towards supplies. Okay, so that's good. Right, we get more action at our airports. This is why when you fly in our FBO network, the group makes more money. Hey, Bambosa, how you doing? Good to see you. This is why when we fly in the group, it's really good because we make those extra coins, and they add up, man. And then I'll put all this towards. I always put this towards supplies and fuel. Right, and I try not to touch this big number. I try to only use this if I can, but sometimes I have to pull from it. But because we're saving this up for an FBO. And if you take a look at our planes, four of the planes are mine that I've leased to the group at no cost, right? So the Longitude, the PC-12, and the 2 TBMs, I own those, and I've leased them to the group for use, right? And by the way, if you ever want to fly a Baron in Hawaii, let's see, I can show you my aircraft here. Go check out N328BD out in Hawaii if you want to fly that. I make a little rental income, but yeah. So anyway, basically almost half of the planes I own, right? So I want to help the group not have to spend the money on $1 million. This plane's $1 million. This plane's 800,000. These two planes are like 800,000 or 900,000. So I don't want the group to have to spend that money and but be able to reap the benefits of it. So in any event, yeah, so that's why flying within the group, the network, is really helpful, and it helps build up this number here, which pays for supplies. Yeah, if you need quick money, you fly your own stuff for a bit. That's fine. Yeah, listen, that's totally makes sense. That's up to you, Conrad, about, switching to FSE. It's up to you. It's what you enjoy, I'm probably going to do an on-air stream, not next Saturday, because next Saturday is a group flight. The Saturday after that will be an on-air stream. To be honest with you, I really like on-air in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of things that are very restricting about it. And I just find myself going back to FSE because it's more open and easier. FSE is free, so that's one good thing about it. Yeah, I mean, that's really up to you, dude. What do you do when you fly jobs? What do you do when the flight jobs get low? Are you talking about on air, Bombosa? Or are you talking about FSE? Let's check out where we are. 196 miles. We got 38 minutes. We're flying at 224, 302 ground speed, making good time across the beautiful state of FLA. My wife and I may be going to Florida soon as a scouting trip.
Jacksonville Center, day or November, tree 28, November Yankee, flight level 200.
Okay, so at FSC, what do you do when the flight jobs gets low? Well, you have to wait for them to regenerate, or pick another place to fly. That's generally what I do. You know what I mean? It's the system is generating new jobs all the time, so you sort of have to be. If you want to fly a particular route, you sort of have to be kind of like patient with it. That's my advice. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I appreciate everyone flying, and I'm not trying to put any pressure on anybody to fly. I know people have a lot to do, and this is just, this is all fun and games, right? So it's not life or death. If worse comes to worse, I've got cash that I can help the group out with. I've got, $6 million in my personal accounts in FSE that I can always help the group out. And I have no problem. I've done that before. I'll do it in the past. I don't have a problem doing that. But it would be nice to be able to expand it. Now, finding, the goal was to get another 3-lotter in the network. Finding that, really tough. So, the fact that we're getting some longer range planes, I may be starting to look like 300-400 miles out of the FBO network to sort of move out of it, because it's just so hard to get locations in the Northeast, you know. Like I was thinking about going like 300 miles out west and grabbing a 3-lotter there, and you know, kind of building a spoke from Roanoke out. So we'll see. Have to see what's available. I've basically given up because I've contacted pretty much everybody that owns FBOs in the area, 3-lot FBOs, and no one wants to sell. So it's really hard, you know. Yeah, you know, Skid Marker's right. You know, you can put them on hold, and that puts them into the group assignment page, which means they stay there until you're ready. So you sort of like grab them, put them in there, and then once you have enough, then you can fill your plane up. So we got a little time, so let's check out Sky Vector here. Let me go to Sky Vector. So let's see. I know my altitude here is. Let's just check the altitude, so I'm sure it's pretty low. 300 feet. Okay, so I want to be at like 2,000 feet. So if we go to, let's see, let's go to K ROA K WWD, right? So those are our 2 waypoints, our 2 FBOs. So I was thinking about something down here. Forget it. Can't find anything. So maybe if we go out this way, like this is 280 miles. Like maybe if we go out this way, I can find an FBO that someone will sell around someone around here, right? You know, somewhere around this area, and then start building another spoke. You know, because we have right now in our group, we've got spokes off of Cape May to like up this way around here, right? And then we've got spokes off of Roanoke around here, somewhere down here. So just build another spoke here. This way we can have straight shots, holdovers, right? And then maybe we'll build something over here, somewhere around this area. So I'm going to start searching around this area to see if we can find an FBO that we can buy. So like I said, you know, once we get 600K, I want to say 600K, sorry, 6 million in the bank here, then I want to make a purchase. That's what I'm thinking. And then the further out you go, maybe the FBOs will be cheaper too. So like I said, it's impossible to find a 3-lot FBO along the shore. It's just the fact that we got Cape May was the kindness, like 3 years ago, kindness of one guy who owns a crap load of stuff in this area at FSE. Kindness of his heart, he sold this to me for like, I think 4 million or something. Just a nice guy. This one we paid 6 million for. It was available on auction. I think I overpaid for it, but you know, in retrospect, it's nice to have it now, and I think it's a cool area to fly. A lot of mountains and just a cool area to fly, you know. So maybe I'll start to look out this way. You know, 'cause like I said, we've got 260 miles here. Maybe we go 260, 250 here, like around here. See what we can find. So maybe that's the plan. All right, let's see. We got 32 minutes. We're going to have to come down 18,000 feet. It's going to take us 18 minutes at 1,000 feet per minute. So when we get to the 25 mark, I'll start to descend. That might be Disney World there, or that round pond? Maybe. Nah, we're pretty far past MCO, so I'm not sure what that is down there. I shouldn't say round pond. That's more of a round lake. Definitely man-made. As we take a look at the landscape here, you can see the ocean. That's pretty cool. But we can't see the ocean just about make out the Gulf of Mexico that way. Someone behind me? Nope. A lot of planes, but I don't think they're with me. There's that TBM. Looking nice. Down view. This one always kind of makes me a little not motion sickness, but just a little bit. All right, so we want to wait till we get to 25 minutes, and then we're going to start to descend down to we can mark our. We're going to go down to 3,000. Alright, we're set. 4 minutes will start to descend. We're looking good on fuel. We'll be able to cut the fuel back as we descend down at 1,000 feet per minute. Some of your FBOs are closed. Oh. You didn't keep them up, skid mark? I don't know. You know, maybe I kicked you out because you didn't fly for a month. Usually, sometimes I go through and I cycle out people that haven't flown for like a couple months. Maybe I missed. Just do me a favor, apply again. And what's your FSE name? What's your FSE name, Bambosa? And apply again, and I'll make sure you're in there. Okay. Sorry about that. I might have kicked you because I usually kick people for inactivity because there's a 1 flight per month requirement. That might be it, and maybe I kicked you by mistake. So just let me know your. Okay. Let me know your. For some reason, you didn't show up on the. Let me just look here. All right, just sign up again, and let me just look at the. So when you're flying, are you flying for the group? Are you making sure that you're flying for VR Aviation? Because that might be a problem. Like if you don't fly for VR Aviation, like for example, I don't see you didn't fly in April at all. Maybe that's because I kicked you. But let's look at the previous month. Oh, my mistake. I kicked you by mistake. All right, so why don't you just reapply right now, and I'll make sure I get you in there. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I guess I just kicked you by mistake, dude. Sorry about that. Please rejoin, and I'll make sure. Cool. No problem. Looks like SAR is flying this morning. He's flying the PC-12. Or actually flew yesterday morning. He flies that PC-12 all over the place. It's great. I'm glad someone's getting use out of it. Alright, let me just get myself straightened down here. Alright, so I guess we should start to descend. So, let's see. We're going to go...
Day 8 November Yankee, contact Jacksonville Center on 132 decimal tree.
We're going to have a vertical speed, and we're going to go down at 1,000.
November Yankee. Jacksonville Center,
And we'll need to pull back our
November Yankee flight level 200.
throttle a little bit.
Delta November 328 November Yankee, Jacksonville Center, continue to RELC as planned.
So now our fuel burns down to 47 gallons per minute. And we've got 70 gallons, 73 gallons, 72 gallons of fuel left. So we got plenty of, sorry, 40, sorry, our fuel burn is 47 gallons per hour. We've got 72 gallons left, and we've got 24 minutes to go, so we're in good shape. What's really nice about the TorqueSim SR22 and X-Plane is that it has all those fuel calculations for you. Like, it'll show you how many gallons you'll have at destination, which is great. Hopefully someone builds that in to this. I know I'm using the working title G1000, which is great compared to the stock one. It's much better. Hopefully they'll add some of those improvements, though. All right, so we're coming through to 18,000. As we descend into the... where the hell? What town? I don't even know what town it's in. Coming through 17.5. All right, Bambosa, I just accepted you as a member. My apologies again. So you're in. You just found Conrad. You just found a bug in on air. Favorite job. The favorite job. It appears in both the from and to logistic queries. Yeah, should report it. Ski Mark just wasted $70K on supplies. These little FBOs are a money pit. Yeah, they are. Where are your FBOs, man? Yes, again, sorry about that, man. I appreciate you letting me know. Now, hopefully, I've got a mental lock of what your FSE thing is, and it won't happen again. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, Skip Mark, where are your FBOs? South Carolina. Ooh, whereabouts in South Carolina? Do you have any TDF? Oh, let's take a look at your FBO. Let's see. TDF. Pearson County, Roxborough. Right. I gotta make sure I'm connected to it. I thought I did. Let me just check and see. Hold on. I thought I checked. I thought you and I spoke about that. So let me just look at facilities. ROA. Why can't I get? Hold on. Yep, it's in there. I'm not sure why jobs aren't being created, but I got you in TDF in there. Yeah, sorry, I'll show you. Right there, see? I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. Yeah, not a lot of action in ROA this year. Let's take a look here. So only 11 flights so far, 10 days into the month. Let's take a look at KWWD. Only 12 flights. See, you gotta get more action in the group. Gotta get more action in the group. And I'm just as bad. I've been flying these ferry missions. Oh, you said you've been having problems with the flight simulator, right? Yeah, don't feel obligated, dude. It'd be, whatever you can do. Hopefully we'll get some, start to generate some. Maybe I have too many. I might have too many facilities, too many connections. Maybe because I have RDU in there. Maybe I'll remove RDU. Everything here is generated at our airports. Charlotte. I got Charlotte in there. I'm not sure if we get a lot. Let's just see if Charlotte's got ROA. Yeah. They're generating jobs back to us. RDU is another one. Let's just see if they've got jobs back to us. No. Maybe I'll remove RDU. Oh no, I don't have RDU to ROA. I have a different place. These are what I have for RDU. There you go. I have RDU going to AKQ. Yeah, this should be fine for ROA. So, I don't know why. Sometimes it's just the way the system works, Not sure. Alright, let's check our flight here. Get back in our cockpit. Alright, so we're climbing through 11.8. 19 minutes. Ground is getting closer. We're going to be a little bit low on fuel, I think, when we land, because we've got 66 gallons left. We're burning 44 gallons an hour. We got 20 minutes to go. I mean, we're going to be fine, but probably have about, I don't know what, 60, 40, half of that 20. So probably have about 40 gallons left when we land. Roughly 40, 50 gallons. That's why pilots have to be able to do math. So they can calculate their fuel. Because if we were having a problem, we would have to find a place to land right now. Get down quick.
November 328 November Yankee 10,700 feet.
Over November 328 November Yankee Jacksonville approach. Continue to route C as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
I cannot wait to get a 3080, specifically for this flight simulator. Don't need it for X-Plane. This flight simulator, I need a 3080, at least, to improve the graphics. I mean, they're fine, they're good, but they could be much better. I'm running medium graphics. I like to be able to run high graphics in VR, and I need a 3080 to do that. Problem is, you can't get a 3080. I try every day. I go to Best Buy. I've got my ways of trying to get one in my cart. Doesn't work. Sometimes I get something in my cart and I can't buy it. Trying the Newegg Shuffle, but the Newegg Shuffle, the cards are all overpriced. Newegg is either Newegg or their suppliers are gouging the market over MSRP, is what I'm noticing. Like, I saw a 3090 in there for $2,100. Get the hell out of here. They had a 3080 in there. I think it was like $1,500. No, 3080 should not be $1,500. 3080 EVGA 3080 SC XC3 is $839 retail. I'm not paying more than that. Maybe I'll pay $50, $75 more. But the Newegg Shuffle, it's become a waste of time. If you know what the Newegg Shuffle is, it's basically this. They're doing this random lottery as to who can purchase GPUs. Every day they put a few more out, but they're well over retail. So they're basically gouging the market. It's really disgusting, if you ask me. But what can you do, man? I've been going through PC problems myself. My Mac Mini, which is a late 2012 Mac Mini, so it's pretty old. It's been great up until recently. The Macs that it can run, if you guys are familiar with Macs, is Catalina OS. And for some reason, it gets into this mode where it just starts running really super slow. I've tried everything, and what I have to do is restore from Time Machine, which is the backup, Apple's backup, and then it works fine. And then slowly but surely it starts to run slow and slow and slow. So I moved all of my, because I do music and video editing on that machine, but I've moved now all my music creation and video editing over to my gaming PC, which has a better CPU and a better GPU, the one I'm flying in right now. And I have a MacBook Air, that's a 2017, that it's only 256 gigs, so I'm upgrading that to a 1 terabyte, And I'm going to move all my personal stuff off the Mac Mini onto that. Completely, clean install the OS on the Mac Mini and see what happens. But it's just been driving me nuts. It's like when you, after like a couple of days after the restore, you boot it up, and it really literally takes 2 hours to go from booting to the Finder, and sometimes it never even gets into the Finder. Sometimes it just reboots itself, saying that it encountered a problem. So my Mac Mini has been driving me nuts. It's been faithful for 9 years, 8 years, and unfortunately it's come to a point where I've got to abandon it. It's a major pain in the neck, because I'm going from, I use Studio One, PreSonus Studio One digital audio workstation for recording music, and I've got to transfer all that stuff over to the PC, and then I'm using Final Cut Pro for video on the Mac, and now I'm using DaVinci Resolve on the PC, which is actually pretty good, and it's free. So I'm going from Final Cut Pro to DaVinci Resolve. It's not quite as powerful as Final Cut Pro, but I don't have a choice. I don't feel like spending $2,000 on a new MacBook Pro, To get anything decent like an i7 MacBook Pro, it's like $1,800. So I figured rather than shell out $1,800, transfer everything over to all the content creation stuff over to my gaming PC, which has plenty of horsepower. And I bought a motherboard with that in mind, that Gigabyte Vision D board. So it's got like a Thunderbolt interfaces and stuff. So anyway, but it's a major process to transfer shit over. And hopefully my Mac Mini, after I'm going to completely erase it, and I'm going to reinstall OS on it, and hopefully it'll be okay. We'll see. Clean install and dunk it in a 5-gallon bucket of water. Yeah. I actually tried to do a clean OS install on it and then restore it, and it still had a problem. So I think there's a problem in the file structure. The Finder file structure is corrupted somehow, or maybe there's some malware in there that I can't find. I thought I figured it out. Like, I thought it was this one piece of software. I got rid of that piece of software, and then it ran great for a couple days, and then it started to slow down again. So it's got to be something in the Finder, or maybe it's a Catalina issue that can't be fixed because the Mac Mini can't go beyond Catalina OS. It can't go to Big Sur. So I don't know. I'm tired of dealing with it, so I'm kind of giving up and moving away. Because it's what's happening is I'm trying different things, and the same thing keeps happening over and over and over and over again. So I can't continue along that pike. I got to make a major change, which is what I'm doing. So, all right. So we got 50 miles, 13 minutes. We're at 3,000 feet. Moving along nicely. Can see some cars on the ground down there. Always said, oh, Macs are so easy. Macs are great unless you have to dive into the OS. Then it's complicated as shit. You got to get into the terminal, and you basically have to know like Linux commands pretty much to do anything. Like if I wanted to back off to Mojave from Catalina, it's a major thing to do. And I'm just not going to do that. So I had this MacBook Air. I bought a 1 terabyte Samsung for it, and I'm going to basically upgrade that to 1 terabyte, which will make it pretty fast. and I'm only going to use it for my personal stuff. And it's a MacBook Air, so it's nice and light. It's got a lot of advantages to using that. And I'm actually consolidating now to 2 computers rather than 3, so that's kind of good. But, as you guys know, when you do transfers, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, the DO. I want. Skid Mark. Why is it that the DoD won't use Macs? I'm just curious, because it seems I always heard that. I know people that work in the DoD and they say the same thing. But why is there a security reason, like vulnerability reason?
November 328 November Yankee Jacksonville Center continue to RELC as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
I mean, we all know Windows has its issues too, right? I went through a 3-month period not being able to upgrade because of an outdated audio driver. Drove me absolutely crazy on Windows. So Windows has its issues too. I'm not saying it's perfect. You know, OSs are complicated, right? Just the way it is. But again, I think the problem with my Mac Mini is it's a file corruption issue. Some sort of operation is trying to load up when I boot up, and over time it just gets worse and worse, and I can't find it. Not sure. I use only an iPhone though. Well, iPhone is more secure than Android. Oh, you're civilian on IT, okay. Yeah, I guess it's because maybe they have standards and practices specific for Windows, and you know, once the Army once the DoD standardizes on something, it's like, you know, pulling hen's teeth to change it. You know, my brother works for the Army. He's a he manages a team of software developers for the Army. He was working on Black Hawk helicopters, which is pretty cool stuff, but alright, we're getting close here. I'm going to start to slow this bird down. Well, actually, we are slowing. We're at 195, so we're good here. We can probably slow it down even further. We're going to be fine with gas. 10 minutes to go. Let's see. We can probably get her down to 2,000 feet, actually. Chemical weapons. Interesting. Get down to 2,000 feet. Just take her down 500 feet per minute. All right, so I'm going to actually, after this flight, I'm going to grab that BWI flight and at least have it in my... I may fly it after the stream. We'll see. It's a 500-mile flight, so I'm not going to do it on stream. But we're going to grab that, and that'll get us up to Baltimore and much closer to ROA, Roanoke, which is the ultimate goal. All right, coming down to 21.3, getting to 2,000. All right, so this is going to sound kind of weird, but I noticed this the other day with the G2, the HP Reverb G2. So you guys can't see it, but if I have, because of the sweet spot, okay, and the human face, your eyes aren't perfectly aligned, right? They're not perfectly vertically aligned. They're off. They're all going to be off a little bit, just the way the human face is. I actually find that I can get clearer vision when I just tilt the headset a little bit higher on the left side than the low side, because I guess my right eye, higher on the right side versus the left side, because I guess my right eye is a little bit higher than my left eye. So if I have it like level on my nose, like my right eye is a little out of focus, but if I just tilt it up a little tiny bit, it makes my right eye more in focus. I don't know if you should try. If you have a G2, you should try that. I guess any headset, because when I'm actually doing it, I'm just aligning the sweet spot, I think, more with my right eye, and I keep the left eye like where it should be. Anyway, so it's kind of weird. All right, so coming into our 20 miles to our turn into DBN. We're at 175. Mustard gas and mortars from World War II. Whoa. Started a new job where you work from home. That's awesome. Take off before work and land at lunch. Yeah, that's cool. Absolutely. I work from home when I'm working, and I do that as well. I'll have a long flight. I'll just put it on autopilot for like a couple hours or whatever, and just monitor it. But that's cool. Yeah, I've been working from home since 2001. 2001, so 20 years. Nothing like working from home. It's awesome. The amount of time I've saved in commuting is unbelievable. The amount of money I've saved in gas, unbelievable. In 20 years, I mean, it's in the tens of thousands of dollars.
119.6 day or 8 November Yankee. Atlanta approach day or November.
And the time, I think I
Yankee,
calculated that in 20 years. With these guys finish. I think I had to go back and do it again, but I think if I remember correctly, I did the calculation, and in the 20 years of working from home, I saved myself 2 years worth of commuting time, something like that. I mean, I could do it real quick here. So, let's say 2 hours a day commuting, right? So let me just bring up a calculator here. Let's see. Where's the calculator? So let's figure 2 hours a day commuting, right? times, you don't work 365 days, you work 210 days, just to say 200 days. All right, so that's 400 hours a year commuting times 20 years. It's 8,000 years, 8,000 hours, okay, divided by, I'm just going to say 24. 330, so it's 330 days. 333 days, so that's a year by 24, right? But if you take 12, it's 600. So it's an unbelievable amount of time. No. I didn't have this job for 20 years. I worked for different multiple jobs from home, all from home over the last 20 years. Yeah. Well, I mean, the job I recently lost, I mean, I can't complain too much because the company got acquired and I had stock in the company. So, I'm not, listen, I'm looking for a job, but it's not as bad as it could be, right? Kind of thing. But yeah, no, I've worked different jobs from home. Like the job before this one, I was there for 10 years. I worked for that company for 10 years, all working from home. But the amount of money you save and the time you save working from home is just phenomenal. It's phenomenal. All right, we're going to be catching up to our waypoint here. And Conrad, I appreciate you reaching out to me on Discord. Hopefully you saw my response. I haven't checked Discord in a couple of days, but I appreciate you reaching out to me there. All right, so I could see our airport, I believe, flashing light runways. Looks to be our airport. The hardest part of working at home is if you got a family, you have to have basically an invisible wall between your office and your family. Because you obviously need to concentrate 8, 9, 10 hours a day working, and people have to understand that it's your office and that's, it's a work environment. And over time it works out, but it takes some getting used to, because you're bringing an office into your home, And I think actually businesses get more productivity out of you because you tend to work longer because you don't have to commute, right? All right, there's my airport. I'm looking forward to landing, getting some lunch, and watching the Masters today. You guys into golf? I'm totally into it. I actually have a bet. I put my bet in on Wednesday. And I had Justin Rose as one of my bets to win at the 100-to-1. Now, I'm not sure how he's doing today, but he was leader by 1 by the end of yesterday. And I'm hoping that he picks up steam, because 100-to-1 would be pretty nice. It's not a huge bet, but it's a decent bet. All right, which is my airport? I guess it's that one over there. A little offline here. All right, we're off autopilot now. We'll get ourselves lined up here. First notch of flaps. I haven't landed this plane in a while. About a week. Yeah, so looking forward to the Masters. Looks like a pretty good Masters. A lot of people
November traffic Dare November tree 28
in contention.
November Yankee is on final runway 02 to land.
All right, let's get those gear down. Outer marker. Go to full flaps. Got a slight amount of crosswind, slight. I'd probably just call that variable winds. Light variable winds. Yeah, so I'm not going to be making the Baltimore trip today. To do that some other day. Looks like someone just cut the lawn there. All right. Try to go for our target blocks here. There you go. Kind of a desolate airport here. Now, why would they put a van right where the marshal is? It's kind of weird. All right, come on, come on. All right, we're good. All right, let's get that brake on. Let's see. All right, good. We're good there. Let's get that.
Oral warning, okay.
Okay, let's check out. Give me a second here, guys. Go to here. Let me go back to 2D. All right, let's see how we did here. FSEconomy. So let's go to the log. There we go. Oh, that's not. Let's go to the Aviation log. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Bambino, Kobe to KDBN. Wow. All right, so we made 1,300 for the group, 3,400 for ourselves. All right, cool. Bank, let's see, we increased the bank by $1,800 or $1,300. All right, so that's good to go. All right. Let's see. Landed the A320 for the first time yesterday and managed to do it twice. That's awesome. Yeah, I tried the 320 a couple times. I'm able to land it. I got a lot to learn there. Let's see. Skid mark. Baron from KOA to K. Is that KDD? Oh, that'd be awesome if you could bring it back. That'd be awesome if you could have jobs on the way. That's awesome. Conrad. Oh, drop a link to the merch, please. Oh yeah, let's. Yeah, so I've got some T-shirts and stuff now on the video on the YouTube channel. Let's go to. Hold on. Let me just show you where that is here. Hold on. Give me a second here. Give me 1 second, guys. I should have been prepared for that, but I wasn't prepared for that. So if you go to
Want a lawn that looks...
Let's go to... Let's see if this works. I'm trying to find a link. I'm going to put it in the chat too, so you guys have it. Let me see if I can find here. And I'll show you some of the cool stuff we got in the merch. All right, here we go. All right, so here's the link. Thanks for reminding me, Conrad. I appreciate that. There's their link. So you got, let's see. Let me go to Bambino Tech here. So we got I'd Rather Be Flying in VR, different variations of shirts and colors and stuff. If you want to check that out. The other one, and coffee mug, I'd Rather Be Flying in VR. And then we've got the, where's the other one? Hold on. Apparel. We also got a sticker, Rather Be Flying in VR. Then we got It's Cooler in VR, with a nice VR thingy. So let's look at just look at that. Let's go to here. There it is. It's Cooler in VR. And also I Fly in VR, with the plane and the VR headset, if you want to check that out. And then also, if you're into cryptocurrency, you got the Raven Coin Rocket T-shirt, if you want to check that out. All right. So yeah, those portions of that goes to support. Most of this goes to the Spring Teespring, who basically makes the shirts, but a portion of that goes to the group, or I should say the channel. So if you want interested in the apparel, check out that link in the description, or sorry, in the chat there, and I'll put this in the description as well. And but if you check out any of my videos on YouTube, you'll see the links to the stuff right there below videos. All right. So I appreciate you pointing that out, Conrad. Thanks. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for me today. I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. Hopefully, at some point, we'll get this plane back up to the group FBO, and be able to fly. Remember, next week again, we've got the Japan group flight. I don't know why it's not showing the what do you call it anymore, but the Japan group flight, Saturday the 17th, 10 a.m. Eastern. The link is already up on YouTube if you want to just hit the like button or hit the reminder. Join us. Last time we had 25 people flying. Hopefully we'll have the same or more this time. Should be a lot of fun. All right. Guys, I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy the beautiful weather out there. Hopefully I'll avoid the post-COVID vaccine funk, if you will. And yeah, so we're good to go. You'll uninstall Overwatch. Enjoy next week. Yeah. All right, bud. All right, guys. Hey, thanks a lot, and take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy the Masters if you're watching that. Take care, guys.